Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to this venue. My name is Eddy. I am the head of Green Labeling at Hong Kong Green Building Council. First of all, thank you for joining this seminar, either physically or those who join online. I would also like to thank the Environment and Conservation Fund for funding this series of education activities. In fact, our program is called Green Building Education and Capacity Building Program, meaning that we will conduct two kinds of activities. First is public education, like this one. Second is technical training. If you are a tertiary education student studying construction or property-related subject, in fact, we welcome you to join our other activities. That means the technical training. You may refer to our GBC webpage, events and training webpage, to find out what technical training we are now organizing. The topic of today's talk is how to become a green building professional, especially designed for tertiary education institution students. And if you are not, we also welcome you to join this seminar to learn more about this particular career. This is the first part of the activity, which is a talk lasting for about 15 minutes. And then in the second part, the second hour of this activity, we will have personal sharing from 5 different practitioners. And then we will have Q&A. In fact, after this talk, if we have spare time, you may also raise a question. For those who have come physically, we welcome you to raise your hand to ask questions. And for those who joined online, we welcome you to type your question in the Zoom system. And the material of this first part of the activities, the talk, will be emailed to you after the seminar. So the talk will be about 3 bullet points. One is take a brief look at the current employment market, and then we will look into the various forces and drivers that make green building an attractive and booming career in Hong Kong especially. And lastly, we will look into how to get into the field. First of all, I'd like you to answer one simple question, just a survey. Which subject are you studying? I've looked into the control console, and I find that most of the audience, there are 2 major fields. One is engineering, consisting of around 35%, and second major field is environment, which is 29%, and also from landscape, 12%, and the other from other fields. So I think the second part of the survey, when we come to a guest speaker, the fourth one, who will be graduate from environment field and then switch to green building field. That will be particularly relevant to those who are studying environment. And the 5th guest speaker, also from engineering. So her particular sharing will be particularly relevant to you if you are studying engineering. Of course, we have other speakers like an architect, like a property management practitioner, as well as town planner. I know some of you also study urban planning. That would be the sharing from our town planner would be particularly relevant to your future career planning. So let's begin the talk. I would like to start by looking at the current employment market, just extract from a few job advertisements like this one, which is clearly talking about green building. The post is called Senior Green Building Engineer. You may see in the responsibilities, it requires the job post holder to carry out energy simulation, daylight analysis, CFD, meaning computational fluid dynamics, reports, noise analysis, this kind of things. And in order to get into this post, it will require a bachelor's degree in building energy or building environment, or even in air conditioning, the kind of subject. And on top of it, it requires the person to be a holder of certain green building credential, like LEED, well, BEAM, and particularly BEAM Plus, which is a credential granted by our council, Green Building Council. The second example, on the top you will see MEP, meaning mechanical, electrical, and plumbing manager. But the second title is building sustainability manager. And in this particular job advertisement, you will see it requires the candidate to work in Beijing, Tianjin, the kind of northern area, which is also our country, but outside Hong Kong. And in the bottom advertisement, you'll see something similar to the first one, which requires the candidate to have a LEED AP or a BEAM Pro qualification, which I will explain in this hour. And it will require experience in some specific software, as you can see from the bottom arrow here, like eQuest, Energy Plus, Ecotech, Radiance, Fluent, and Phoenix. That kind of highly specialized software that, in fact, they are related to environmental and energy simulation that nowadays are very common when we design buildings. In a nutshell, I can say if you want to get ahead in your future career path, no matter you are an architect or a design engineer, you will need two essential skills. First is digital skill. Of course, we all know nowadays we all use computer, but not even that. We are now talking about how to use simulation software and also generative AI to help us make complicated decisions and help us overcome highly tedious tasks. And even beyond AI and digital technology, nowadays we are using robot, like in terms of site operations, like painting, welding. Nowadays, engineers, architects are deploying robotic technology to do the welding job and also painting, plastering. This kind of tedious manual tasks are now being done through robots. And also the use of drones. That means managed operations. Even tower cranes nowadays can be operated without a crane operator inside the cabin. The crane operator now sits in an air-conditioned room to control the tower cranes. So these are not only related to digital technology, but also IoT, the kind of ICT technology. And the second very important skill that you need to master is low carbon concept. How to do your job, but in a manner that reduce carbon emissions, either in operation, in construction, and also in the entire building life cycle. So you need to design something which is not traditional, but would reduce carbon during the entire lifetime, including when you select materials, you select those which has the lowest embodied carbon. That means during manufacture, it will consume less energy. What kind of process you employ to manufacture the materials, like concrete, like steel. So these are two important skills that you need to master. Then let's look into why green building, low carbon, this kind of concept are so important. I would like to begin by first looking at the top-down force. That means the force from the government, from the authority. In fact, in the society, there are two systems operating in parallel, which try to push green building or environmental protection. First is legal requirements. On the left-hand side, you can see the laws of Hong Kong. There are lots of relevant ordinances, relevant regulations. On the left-hand side, you see a blue booklet, which is the Building Energy Code, governing how electrical and mechanical installations should be designed. These designers must comply with, and also the white one, which is the Overall Thermal Transfer Value Code of Practice, which architects need to comply with when they design the building envelope for buildings. These are examples of mandatory requirements. On the right-hand side, there are also voluntary requirements, like what our council is operating, the BIMPAS scheme. BIM means Building Environmental Assessment Method. This is not a code. This is not a compulsory requirement. Designers can choose to comply or not to comply. In fact, this is not, I cannot say it is a document that gives you a result of comply or not comply. In fact, it is a weighting scheme that will give you a result in terms of grading, like platinum grading, gold, silver, and bronze. So you can see the fundamental difference between left-hand side code and laws, and right-hand side recognition scheme. Recognition scheme gives you a grading result, meaning how green your building can be described. Although the right-hand side, like BIMPAS scheme, in fact, there are also other, like Leigh from the United States. These schemes are voluntary. The government is going one step further by imposing policy requirements on its own projects, like those by Architectural Services Department, by Drainage Services Department. They all need to comply with internal policy. This is written into this Green Government Building Circular, meaning that for certain government buildings, mainly those exceeding certain size, like exceeding 10,000 square meter construction floor area, they need to obtain the second highest rating from a green building rating scheme, mainly BIMPAS in Hong Kong. So the government is trying to set a good example by requiring its projects to comply with the voluntary rating scheme. And then in 2010, the government was even moving the private sector by imposing, I would say, an incentive scheme. As you can see from the middle part of this paragraph, the government requires certification by BIMPAS conferred by HKGBC, our council, if the buildings, the public sector building projects, wish to obtain gross floor area concessions for certain features, mainly the green and amenity features. Then the government requires them to join the voluntary rating scheme, BIMPAS. By this instrument, I would say after 2010, in fact, effective date was 2011, April, the voluntary scheme, to some sense, has become semi-mandatory because many private sector projects, they wish or they intend to maintain the GFA concessions. So they need to comply with additional requirements, that is to join the BIMPAS assessment. This is the flow of the process. You can read carefully at home. In brief terms, they require certain checkpoints, like when they submit the general building plan, they need to register a project against BIMPAS, and when they apply for consent to commence the construction, they need to submit the assessment result. But at that stage, 2010 or 2011, the effective date, the government did not require the projects to obtain specific BIMPAS rating. That means as long as they join BIMPAS, no matter what result they got in the end, either platinum, gold, silver, bronze, or even just prerequisites achieved, that kind of minimum rating, they can still maintain the gross floor area concession. That's the beginning when government first imposed an incentive to attract more private developers to join BIMPAS. With this incentive, you can see from the statistics of the buildings department that every year around half of the private sector projects they join BIMPAS, even though BIMPAS maintains itself to be a voluntary scheme. But through this buildings department gross floor area concession incentive, it effectively boosts the participation rate to I would say a medium level of around 50%. And then after running the incentive from 2011 to 2024, that means around 13 years, the government started to tighten the requirement by now requiring these building projects to obtain specific BIMPAS rating. In the past, no matter what rating they got in the end, it didn't matter. But now the government requires the building projects, if they want to maintain the GFA concession, they need to obtain at least bronze rating. The principle is that normally projects are required to obtain gold rating because the government itself and many quasi-public organizations like NTR Corporation, like Urban Renewal Authority, that kind of quasi-public organizations, they all aim at obtaining gold rating. So under this new incentive, normal requirement is gold. But if private developers want to obtain a lower rating like silver or bronze, they can still maintain GFA concession, but subject to additional requirements imposed by the buildings department. That is called a specific standard, as you can see from the 5 boxes in gray color. In this box, you can see these additional conditions will be they need to comply with like extensive greenery, like health and well-being requirements, interior natural ventilation, the use of BIM, building information modeling, and the use of MINEP, that is off-site prefabrication and assembly of the mechanical and electrical installations. So you can see the government is trying to push green building movement step by step. After a period of operation, the government tried to impose higher requirements in order to push the industry to go greener. These are the detailed procedures that I won't go into. And also from a long time ago, I think 2013, the government has chosen Kowloon East to make it become a smart and green district. That means the district that spans from Kwun Tong to Kai Tak, including the midway, Kowloon Bay, Outer Port. If there is a land sale, then the land sale condition already stipulates that the developer need to promise to the government that it would obtain a provisional gold rating under BIMPAS. So that becomes not only voluntary or semi-mandatory, that is compulsory. If developer want to get the land, it must design the buildings to obtain the gold rating from BIMPAS. The above are for new buildings. How about existing buildings? If existing buildings, they can improve the electrical and mechanical installations by carrying out replacement and upgrading works, then the costs incurred in such improvement works can be utilized to apply for tax concession. In particular term, under Inland Revenue Department, they have a document called IRD DIPN number 5, which tells the building owners how to obtain this kind of tax concession. There are some procedure like getting a certificate from BIMPAS first and then apply for another cert from Electrical and Mechanical Services Department and then fill in the tax form in order to claim this tax concession. So you can see the government have various means to promote and help Hong Kong move further in going green in terms of building. Besides these top-down forces and drivers, there are also bottom-up drivers. Like this particular case, Holiday Inn Express Hong Kong Soho, which is a hotel project. The developer of this project, they told the media that going green is an investment. If designed properly, there could be reasonable commercial return. That means by putting in green features in their buildings, they anticipate that in future, these innovative green features, like in this particular pictures, you can see an innovative cooling device that cool the bed, confine cooling within a small area so as to limit the amount of energy consumption. And they also put in solar thermal panels to help preheat the water for bathing. So by putting in these green features, they anticipate that in future they will help them save air conditioning energy costs and help them cut the hot water heating costs. So this is a bottom-up drivers that help the green building movement to move forward. And there are other, like in this particular article, it says that the tenants expect when they try to find office building to rent, they try to target at those who that have obtained green building certificate. In the United States, since 2009, almost 2/3 of all office space built has been either LEED certified or Energy Star efficient. So they are targeting at the tenant market, and they know that if they can get this kind of green building certificate, they will help them to lease out their building easier. Not only energy efficient, but also in terms of health. This article says that tenants and investors will be looking for healthy buildings, especially after the COVID pandemic. And the World Building Council also emphasized how buildings would foster the well-being of the occupants inside by formulating a framework that systemize how different factors within the building would be related to, like productivity and the quality of sleep and the condition of health, etc. So buildings are in fact closely related to how our health performs. Another force would be green finance. Developers, they need investors to put in money to help them operate. Like when they have construction projects, they will need a lot of money, and when these developers are listed companies on the stock market, they also need the investors to buy their stocks and Another case, if these completed buildings are packaged as REITs, meaning real estate investment trust. That means they put the building asset onto the stock market for investors to purchase, so that the investors can enjoy the rental return. All these kind of financial cases, they would like to attract those developers, attract those investors who target at green and socially responsible projects and assets, like pension funds, lots of institutional investors. They would particularly pick up those assets that are green and socially responsible. And there are investor benchmark that will help you distinguish which kind of assets, which kind of stocks are sustainable, like the GRASP benchmark. Some companies, they are ranked according to the GRASP benchmark, and they announce these results for the investors to understand whether a particular company or a particular portfolio is green or not. And in the case of Hong Kong, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, last year, they also published a document called the Taxonomy. Taxonomy is a kind of requirement document that defines whether an activity, like when you construct a building, whether that construction project could be classified as green. In the past, green could be subjective. Some claim that projects are green, while the other criticize these projects are not green. But after the publication of this taxonomy, there is a well-defined criteria determined by Hong Kong Monetary Authority to tell you if this construction project want to borrow money, they need to comply with this requirement document. In fact, they not only specify BIM plus the joining of a rating scheme, but they also require the project to obtain particular scores under BIM plus and obtain certain achievement in terms of energy reduction in order to be eligible to be called green. After it is classified as green, then the developer can issue green bond on the stock market for investors to purchase, or to borrow green loans from certain banks, and to even obtain a company-wide sustainability-linked loans to help the company operations. And in terms of the retail market, if you're a property buyer, you want to select and purchase property, nowadays banks in Hong Kong, many of them are now offering green mortgage options. That means if you pick up a first-hand or even second-hand existing properties that are weighted at gold weighting under BIM plus, then the banks would offer you cash rebate and other ancillary benefit by virtue of your selection of green properties. So all these are bottom-up drivers. Yet there is another driver that drives the green building movement, which is very fundamental. That is the environmental factor. In fact, our Earth is at risk. If you look at the carbon dioxide global average level, in the BC stage, in fact, that was very low, around just 250 ppm. But nowadays, if you take a CO2 detector to measure the carbon dioxide level outside, you will obtain a reading of around 400 ppm, or even higher, 425, the kind of level. That is completely different from the BC state era. So the main reason is the Earth undergo industrial revolution. We now have a lot of manufacturing undertaking. They are consuming fossil fuels, and they emit carbon dioxide. And the level of carbon dioxide will accumulate in the atmosphere, causing greenhouse gas effect. That's why if we have a layer of greenhouse gas surrounding us that continue to accumulate, the heat will also accumulate, causing the air temperature and also the ocean temperature to rise. When the ocean, when our atmosphere contains more energy, then the entire climate would change. That means it becomes more severe when typhoon is formed. That's why we experience more extreme rainfall, particularly in the summer of this year, and also just a few weeks ago when we thought it should be autumn now, but we still wore short sleeve shirts because the temperature even in autumn was like summer. So to cure this problem, we need the earth to be sustainable. We look at the reason, what caused the CO2 level to rise so severely. One important factor is building. If you look at the global statistics, building, including construction and operation activities, they contribute to around 40% of the global CO2 emissions. If you look at those regions that don't have manufacturing activities like Hong Kong is service-oriented, the contribution from building is even higher because we don't have manufacturing, and the main contributor of our cities' CO2 emission is buildings. It contributes not 40, but 60% of our cities' greenhouse gas emission is due to our building, including when we operate our air conditioner, when we operate our gas boiler, that will contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. Although buildings are the problem, we can say buildings are also the solution. By changing the way we design our buildings, by changing the way we operate our buildings, we are helping to cut our greenhouse gas emissions a lot. One notable example in Hong Kong is a CIC Construction Industry Council project completed more than 10 years ago in Kowloon Bay. It is called the CIC Zero Carbon Park, nowadays called a park. Originally, it was called a zero carbon building. The name park also tell you that it's not only the effort of the architects and engineers, but also great efforts from the landscape architects, because in this particular project, they established something like a wood, like a forest, consisting of native species of plants to attract native insects, butterflies, birds to maintain the local habitats. In fact, this is not only a building, but also a innovative park. Of course, you can see the top of the building is laid with solar panels that help to balance its energy consumption. In fact, it's called zero carbon or it's called zero energy because itself is a power generator, not only a consumer. Nowadays, we not only talk about zero carbon or zero energy. In fact, we are thinking or actually designing buildings that is energy positive, like the zero carbon building on top a lot of solar panels. In fact, many installations in buildings can generate electricity, like the elevators. When the elevators is going down at full load or going up at low load, in fact, it could generate electricity. And carbon, we not only talk about zero carbon. Nowadays, we are talking about carbon sink. We have nowadays some concrete block products that can store carbon dioxide inside them, or even cement and concrete products that are designed in such a way that during their curing process, they store carbon dioxide inside. And we are talking about water positive. when the roof collects rainwater, in fact, it can purify the rainwater and utilize the rainwater for other purposes that convert the building into water positive and waste similar to carbon and impact positive. In the past, we thought that buildings destroy the environment, but nowadays we build buildings in such a way that after completion, the building will have positive impact to the community. Like in the past, if that particular district did not have any greenery, we build a project there. The project, in fact, bring along new kinds of greenery that help to restore the original ecological habitat. That's why we call it impact positive. So you can have a lot of foresight that help you shape the building industry in completely different ways. Our country, China, is also moving far ahead, like this particular called ultra zero carbon building, which has been recently opened in August. It's in Qingdao, which is the headquarters of a new energy company. Because the owner is a new energy company, it puts in a lot of innovative technology. In Chinese term is 光储直有, meaning that it utilizes renewable energy, it utilizes devices to store the energy, and the third one is very innovative, not yet common in Hong Kong. It utilizes DC current because when we have energy produced by the solar panel, it's in the form of DC. Traditional way is to convert DC into AC, and then somehow if you want to feed the lighting is in LED, then you need to convert again from AC to DC. So it's troublesome. So in China, they are now designing buildings for some advanced buildings that they directly use DC produced from the PV panel to feed the lighting direct, all the way only DC, no need to convert to AC and then back to DC. And the building itself can be flexible in terms of demand, they utilize the vehicle because they have electric vehicles. In the daytime, the vehicles park in the underground car park. If the car owner they wish to earn some extra money from selling the electricity of the storage battery, they could agree to sell part of the electricity back from the car back to the building. In the process, they earn the difference in tariff. So it makes the building flexible in energy demand. They will not have a peak demand during daytime because by means of different strategy, they could make the building demand more flexible. We look forward to our future development when our country, like the northern part of our country, is moving so advanced. When we develop our own new district, like the more modern metropolis, you will expect to see the government would try different new ways of designing the transport systems and also the infrastructure and buildings in order to make this new district a low-carbon district. So how to get into the field? In fact, green building practitioners are scattered around in different companies. Like when we have a building project, we have the client, which is the building developer or the building owner, the top left corner. And then they will have an entire design group consisting of different companies like architect, structural engineer, E&M engineer, quantity surveyors, and also a BIM or lead consultant. And then on the right top corner, you have the building owner. We also have an O&M team participating in the design and construction process, offering the advice about the future operation. And of course, when we have designer, we also have the implementer, which is the contractor, carrying out the actual production work. So all these 4 groups of companies or persons, each of them will have green building practitioners inside them. Usually, it's not difficult. If they have personnel, they can become green building practitioners by, I would say, 2 kinds of short courses that are available for them to take and then get a suitable credential in order to be called green building practitioner. 2 of these courses offered by Green Building Council and our partner company, Beam Society, is one is Beam Professional, which is targeted at professionals or managerial staff. The second one is Beam Affiliate, which is targeted at supporting personnel or fresh graduates. If you look at the profile of BIMPO, I would say there would be 2 kinds. One is you are just a practitioner in the traditional building industry, like planners, architects, engineers, etc. And by means of the short courses and examination, you get an additional credential, then you will be eligible to be called a green building practitioner. And there are, of course, another type. When your job is, say, a lead consultant, a BIM consultant, your main duty is to coordinate the submissions to the authority to get the green building rating. Then your job itself is highly related to green building. Then you may also be eligible to be called a green building practitioner. And sometimes we have also specialists like certain practitioner. Their job is to carry out energy analysis. They call themselves energy simulation specialists, or in terms of existing building, they could be energy auditor or energy manager. These kind of professions are also green building practitioners. And of course, we have other like carrying out air ventilation assessment when a building project undergoes planning. They are specialists in computational fluid dynamics. They are also green building practitioners. And if you look at the profile of BIM professionals in Hong Kong, many of them are either architects and engineers, meaning that the first type, traditional practitioners in the building industry, many of them proceed to get additional credential through short course and examination. As you can see, 34% architects, 37% engineers. They have their parents' profession, and they just go one step further to get a BIMPO qualification. Same for surveyors. You may ask why environmentalists just 5%, but in fact many of them I can say within the engineer sector, because by training they are undergoing a engineering training, like environmental engineering training. So they may classify themselves as engineers, but in working they are actually environmentalists. So the actual percentage should be much higher than 5%, because some of them go into this category. To make it clear, architects have a large contribution to make in terms of creating a green building, like how they design the building envelope will influence a lot. How in future, how much energy will be consumed. Very different if you design envelope in different ways. Same for structural engineers. Some people say they may not be relevant, but not they are highly relevant. They choose the material, they choose the form of the building, and this related to embodied carbon. If they can design to use a thinner structure that is less heavy but still perform the job, they help a lot by reducing embodied carbon. How about QS? Some people say QS are not relevant, but not. I would say they are relevant in terms of counting and accounting for some of the requirements inside the green building rating scheme. Like this one, prefabrication. We need their help to calculate and determine certain criteria, like how much of the building is made by prefabrication. We need their help in order to quantify. How about builder? Builder are also relevant because a lot of the requirements in BIMPAS are related to how the building is produced, whether it is produced in a manner that reduces pollution, like water pollution, dust pollution, etc. If you want to know how to get into the short course to obtain the credential, in simple terms, there are two entry routes for you to choose. First is based on another membership. That is related to the Type 1 BIMPO that they have their original profession, like they are already a professional architect or already a professional engineer. Then by means of their membership in like HKIA, HKIE, they could apply for this short course, take the training and then examination. Another route is not by means of membership in another institution, it's by means of experience. Then it will require 5 years experience related to the assessment of green buildings. Even though you may not have other institutions membership, if you have 5 years this kind of experience, you can still take the course, take the exam, and get the BIMPO credential. Bear in mind, the actual course provider is our partner company, BIM Society. Then you need to go to BIM Society Limited website and choose education page. You can see the details. These are the details of the exam. You can take a look when we deliver the PowerPoint to you after the seminar. Of course, we have another course for supporting personnel, which is BIM affiliate. They also have two routes to join. First is fresh graduates. It may not be degree, even we accept those studying down to diploma level. No matter you are diploma, high diploma, or degree, as long as the subject is related to built environment, then we accept you can, after you graduate, you take the BIM affiliate short course and then take the exam. Another route is your academic degree or diploma is not related to built environment, like those working in supplier, many of them study business, study marketing, etc. As long as they accumulate 5 years experience in the construction industry, including like supply of relevant material, they work in the sales agent for construction materials, we also count this as relevant experience. After 5 years, they can apply for entry to the short course, take the course exam, and then get the BIM affiliate credential. Again, it is offered by BIM Society. Go to BSL website, you can see the detail. Yet there is another option. Some students want to get the BA BIM affiliate credential earlier, then there is another option. BIM Society have collaborated with these tertiary education institutes. They embed the BIM affiliate training into their syllabus. That means if you take a particular subject, it depends on which subject you choose in the final year. Some subject already embed the BIM affiliate training into them, and you normally take the subject, then you undergo the training, take the exam, and after you graduate with the degree, we will grant you a credential. That's called an early enrollment option. So the entire picture for a green building practitioner, I can summarize in this flow chart. The bottom level, supporting personnel, they may be fresh graduate or supporting personnel, they first got a green BIM affiliate credential, and after they get membership of their original profession, like become member of HKIA, HKIE, they take the BIMPO course and become a BIM professional. And then after they get real project experience, accumulate sufficient link for experience, they can even apply to become BIM assessor. that is our part-time workforce. We engage outside practitioners to help us operate our BIMPAS scheme, carrying out assessment work. They are called BIM assessor. And we have some committees, we have some expert panels. We require experts to join our committee and panels. They are called BIM building faculty. This is by election. When you have become veteran, meaning that you have become highly mature in your own profession in one particular green building field, then you may consider to submit an application. It is by election that these people will become part of our green building faculty, meaning they are highly experienced experts eligible to join our committee and our expert panel. In terms of local tertiary education institutions, I can say all building-related first degrees in Hong Kong basically have sustainability elements built into them, because nowadays many syllabus already have built-in green or sustainability elements into them. That's not a choice. You must have this kind of education elements. And even you get your first degree, it is beneficial to obtain higher degree nowadays in order to stay competitive in the job market. Then you can choose those courses like master degree or postgraduate diploma courses, particularly in green building topics. If you want to know which master degree or postgraduate courses are related to green building, our council have a resource web page that aids you find out in Hong Kong what kind of available postgraduate courses are available. You can see from these examples there are a large variety of topics for you to choose, like carbon neutral cities, high performance buildings, energy engineering, sustainable environmental design, etc. So large variety. So Hong Kong is an education hub. There are lots of postgraduate opportunities for you to join. Lastly, some advice for young practitioners. First is, it is advisable for you to broaden your career by becoming a professional within your base profession first. Like if you are studying planning, your first target would be to become a member of HKIP. If you study environmental science, that kind of subject, maybe your first priority would be to become a member of HKIQEP in the, say, 5 years after graduation. That's your first priority. And you won't stop there. And second advice is a postgraduate qualification will benefit you either to deepen your knowledge or to widen your knowledge. We have some examples like if your first degree is environmental science, you may broaden by studying a second degree in building related subject, or vice versa. If your first degree is in building related subject, then you go one step further by acquiring a second master degree in environmental design, that kind of not so related to your first subject, but help you to broaden your scope to another field. That's our advice to you. Lastly, I extract some meaningful sentences from the CEO of Green Building Council of Australia. It says, everywhere we look, we are seeing alignment between voluntary standards like LEED, like BIMPAS, investor benchmarks, like what I have talked about, the taxonomy, the GRASP benchmark, and regulation, like building energy code. The same pattern keeps repeating. Voluntary frameworks move first. Leaders prove what's possible by joining BIMPAS, by joining LEED. They prove what's possible. investors elevate expectations, then comes finance requirements. If the industry is doing so good, then the Hong Kong Monetary Authority issues taxonomy to define that kind of high levels, and then regulation follows. Then the buildings department, the electrical and mechanical service department, gradually they will elevate the legal requirements. No one asks why sustainable buildings matter anymore. They are asking how to deliver them faster, smarter, and at scale, especially when we have large-scale development in the northern metropolis, especially when we are thinking about how to renew our urban fabric. Then that's the question, how we could do faster and at scale. I leave it to you when you join the industry, helping us to solve out this issue, how to move green building faster, smarter, and at scale. So that's my final word. I don't have time for Q&A for this particular talk. Maybe I leave the Q&A to the very last part of the whole session. And I think I should start the personal sharing session. In the same sequence as the event flyer, our first speaker will share her personal experience is an architect, Yvonne Yang. Yvonne is the Associate Director of Leigh and Orange Limited. She is a registered architect, and she also participated in some interior design jobs. So her experience will be very interesting. Yvonne.
Thank you, Eddy. Yeah. Good afternoon. Hi all. Yeah. I will be here to share quite casual to you because I believe that students here should be online and also in the classroom. And then, in fact, they are studying in university already, right? But I'm here to share like how to be an architect and what classes or what subject or how to take classes that you can to become a registered architect in Hong Kong. Okay, let me start like this. Okay, to become a registered architect in Hong Kong, you have to take 6 years of the study. The first 4 years is the undergraduate for architectural study. So after the undergraduate, you can take a gap year or what we call year out. It means just run out to take 1 year of work or travel around to observe, to visit the building to get more experience, and then back to school to take the graduate study for 2 more years. Okay, so when you try to study architecture at the beginning, you have to double check whether the school is on the list in Hong Kong Institute of Architects, because when you study, when you finish all the study, and then you need to take the exam held by Hong Kong Institute of Architects, and then to become a registered architect, right? So you have to double check whether the school that you study are in the list, on the list that are accredited by the Institute of Architects. Okay, that's the general basic information that to become a registered architect in Hong Kong. Okay, back to me. How Yvonne to become an architect? In fact, it's not a straight line. Quite a long time for pursue this target. Let me start like this. Okay, yeah. Let me start like this again. Yeah, for me, in fact, let me talk about my grew up. I was grew up in Macau, and then after my high school study, and then because in Macau doesn't have any university, so if I want to study further study, I have to go somewhere else. Okay, then the first city next to Macau is Hong Kong. So I came to Hong Kong, and then I studied architecture in Chuhai College, because the college accredited my high school scores anyway. So in Chuhai College, I study architecture because it's the subject that attracted me to study. Why? Because you can see the architecture in study including art and science. You can see the word architecture including art, AR, instead of it include aesthetic issues, and also all related to the structure, how to make it be built and nice. So that's grouped together. So it's very interesting subject that attracted me to study. After the study 4 years, and then because it is not a accredited school in Hong Kong, then I work in for interior design. But for interior design, it's quite interesting at that moment because I have to get all the practical experience for that several years. And then from interior design experience, I believe that, it seems architecture is still my dream because a professional status that can help you to pursue more, to understanding more about what is architecture. So after several years, and then I go to the United States and then get another high school, another graduate study for 2 more years, and back to Hong Kong to work for architectural firm and then take the exam. So my path to get the accredit as an architect in Hong Kong, registered in Hong Kong, it takes quite longer than other people. But it seems it's good to share for you guys because from the path, it seems longer, but exactly that in the future or when we want to get more information and knowledge, in fact, I got more practical information to see what's the building looking like. So my sharing the aim right now here is once when you have a dream, you want to be like architects, in fact, you have to make sure your interest, whether you really like this idea. It is, for example, you have to understand your interest. Once if you think that the interest is what you want, and then you just go for it. So it's not difficult, but you have to be persistent, and then you can get what you want. Okay, so why architecture so attract me to study? As I said, both combine art, and then also you have to have some structural science and also mathematics, etc. So combine together, and then you can have more to do in the futures. The other thing, what attributes contribute to success of the jobs? For good architecture, in fact, we have to complete the project in good quality, on time, within budget. And then because there are more and more requirements right now for the buildings. For example, we need the architecture to have more greenery, to be no carbon and also resilient, and also inclusive design and wellness, etc. have to be considered and to be done in the building. So more and more we have to learn. So another advice that I want to let the student know is you have to get observation very often, because after observations and then you learn more and then can input in your design to have the all the attributes. So as you can see, a lot of architects, in fact, they have different directions after the training. For example, if they have the interest like management, and then they will become like project manager. Or they are not only just stay in office to design the buildings, maybe they become like policy maker or developer, as I write down here, feng shui master, for example. For example, we have a really famous feng shui master, John Hongman. In fact, he's an architect, and then he's famous for feng shui. So all his building and the client, they look for him is designed architecture related to feng shui. then, for example, policymaker, you can understand like 大嘥鬼嚇感性. And then he's a famous architect for sustainable architecture. But because he also have a really policy mind how to promote sustainability, so eventually he become secretary for environment. Yeah. So what I write down here exactly all my friends, fashion designer, because my friend is an architect. He loved the design and also loved the history of fashion. So eventually he became a writer and also a fashion designer. So what I write down here, I just want to say, after the training of architecture, because of the spectrum of the content is quite rich. So after you got the knowledge, got your professional, and then based on your interest, you can develop to different directions to serve our society. So I can say the education of architecture, in fact, is wider and actually more than we expect. So as you can see, some people become artists. A lot of installation right now in Hong Kong, in fact, they are architects. They got architectural training. Whether they become a registered architect or not, they will pursue their interest and become an answer our society too. Okay. What's the challenge of the architects right now? Of course, the building regulations is quite more stringent in Hong Kong. And then right now, for example, we got 20 years ago, all the hand drawings changed to AutoCAD, and right now all the AutoCAD will migrate to BIM. So, for example, in Hong Kong, 2029, all the submission will be submitted by BIM. That means the training in university may, I'm not sure right now, maybe all using BIM for training and then for your homework, student work too. So, and also like sustainability, because the building or this development, in fact, generate a lot of carbon emissions. In fact, so when we are learning about the architecture, the climatic design, and also the sustainable issue that relate to architecture, we have to learn. And then AI right now all built in our life, not in writing and also in design. So AI can generate a lot of design, but how can we select it? Is it suitable for the use, or actually it replace our idea, etc.? We need to really careful about how to handle it. And also back to contract, for example, the normal contract that we are using, and then we have NEC4, etc., etc. So more and more technology, new knowledge, and then really fast technology that we have new material, new idea, MIC, etc. coming to our industry, and our students have to moving forward and work on it. So what's next? The next is architects may not be like 50 years ago. They need to using pens or drawings or rulers, etc. Right now, we have to learn all the software and then to design our ideas. And also, we have too many new development already. So how to protect our earth? Right now, we're talking about regenerations architecture. That means not destroy. We see how to restore our earth, and also with a new mindset to design our earth. So in fact, I just want to have the message is architects have a really flexible training and also multi-levels. So if you have more interest in to pursue about architects for sustainability, in fact, like Eddy introduced, besides the formal architectural training, they still also have several different courses for you to choose. So that's what I'm sharing here.
Thank you, Yvonne. surprising. Architect can become a singer and every other profession. And the next speaker is a town planner, Mr. Y.M. Fu. Mr. Fu is a senior manager at the Hong Kong Housing Society. He has worked in various companies and organizations. I'll leave it to you to share with the audience.
Hello everyone. Thanks Andy for introducing me. Just a very little information about myself. I graduated from Hong Kong U to study urban planning in my master's degree with specialization in transport planning. But before that, my interest in urban planning rests in my study of geography in my undergraduate study, relating to the study of subject about city planning, urbanization, or another related subject. And after graduating from Hong Kong U, I've worked for several organizations. I'm now working in the Hong Kong Housing Society to be responsible for the planning and development of public housing. And before that, I've worked in the government, the transport department, the planning department, and other public body, such as the Urban Renewal Authority, West Kowloon Cultural District Authority, as well as the Science Park. And to begin with, I would like to share something interesting with you. When I meet some friends or relatives, after they know I'm a planner, do you think what is the most frequent question they will ask me? The most frequent question is very simple. It's actually, what are planners? What are planners are doing or they are working with? This is not a silly question. In fact, there is no simple answer to respond to this question. Why? Because if you put the word planner in the internet, what will you get the result? You think you will get this picture, a schedule. So you may wonder, is it a schedule related to planning profession, or will there be any other scope of time planner? And in fact, you may have heard of other names for planners, such as town planner, city planner, urban planner. And for the Hong Kong government, they use the standard term town planner, referring to the planning profession. But you may also heard of some strange names for planning profession, such as land use planner, regional planner, or spatial planner. And in fact, all these names have their individual emphasis on particular aspect of planning. So you may ask me, in a word or in a keyword, what should I summarize the work of planning profession? I will choose this word, land uses. And if you have studied geography in your secondary school or undergraduate, you may have come across with this term. What is this term? It's very obvious. And in fact, you are living with land use every day, right? You will see residential development, commercial development, or park. These are also broad brush terms for what are you seeing in our environment. And I've captured this land use utilization map in Hong Kong, published by the planning department every year. You will see which colors share the largest part, except the blue one referring to the water. For the land, most of the color is green, right? And what is green color referring to? They are referring to the land uses of grassland, woodland, shrubland, etc., covered by the country park. And this land use share over 75% of total land use in Hong Kong. So you may wonder, then lots of news talking about scarce resources of land in Hong Kong for housing. But why over 75% of land in Hong Kong are country park? So the answer should be falling within the scope of town planning. it relates to the planning strategy for Hong Kong over the past decades, with the priority of land users remaining in the countryside, but only less than 25% of land are built environment. So this is a good example to illustrate when we are doing planning profession, we are of course not related only to schedule, but mostly related to plans. And there are hierarchy of plans in the Hong Kong planning system, from the smaller scale for the territorial wide to a very large scale and layout plan in the local level. And for the territorial development strategy, the most updated version of plans is named the Hong Kong 2030 Plus. You may have heard of this study. And for the regional planning and engineering study, the most recent consultation by the governments related to the northern metropolis development, such as the Sunti Temple, the Ngau Tam Mei University Town, etc. And all these territorial or regional-wide studies are falling within the scope of town planning. And for the district or local level, you may see the word statutory, which means those plans, such as the outline zoning plan, OZP in short, DPA plan or RA plan, and other terms I'm not, I have no time to talk about today. They are all within the scope of town planning ordinance, which means for every development, the land use should comply with those specifications in the statutory plan. And also, in more detailed large-scale plan, we call outline development plan or layout plan, they are departmental plan promulgated by the government. And planners in Hong Kong are mostly dealing with plans, not only for the government planners, but also for the consultant or other developers. And so in short, I can summarize the planning practice in Hong Kong in two, you can say a coin with two sides. First of all, we will have development strategy for particular plans, no matter it's a large scale or smaller scale. But to with the plan have a smooth implementation, we also have development control on the other side. And the development control mechanism in Hong Kong involves building ordinance, town planning ordinance, and also the land use, and planners share part of the development control. And with this practice with strategy and control, the different level of plans can be implemented in Hong Kong smoothly. So all these two aspects are correspondingly influenced to each other. And for scope of planning, I must say it's not the land use does not exist alone. Land use exists because of many other aspects or disciplines. For example, architectural design, transportation, public utilities, environmental, and even though cultural heritage, and also landscape, greening, etc. They are all influencing what are the desirable land uses the public is expecting for. So that community aspiration is also another key aspect for planning, for planners, because we planners not only devising our desirable vision or our intention, but those visions or intentions should be shared or agreeable by the public. And the public engagement covers a large part of our daily work. And lastly, students may be interested. Where are planners working with in Hong Kong? And surely you will think of most part of planners are working in the government. That's true. We will have around 500 to 600 practicing planners in Hong Kong, and I think about 7% to 80% of planners are working in the planning department and housing department of the Hong Kong government. But for the remaining hundreds of planners, they are working in public bodies like me, for example, Hong Kong Housing Society, or other public bodies like URA, NDRC, and also there are a number of planning consultants. For some large consultant area, AECONG, they have their own planning team, and also there are other planning consultants like Thailand or I think around 20 something companies in Hong Kong for responsible for the planning consultant. And for private developer, they may hire a planner, and for university, there are maybe some planning projects that require participation of planners. And lastly, I will share something about your future study. If you are interested in studying planning, please be aware that your program or curriculum should be fully accredited by the Hong Kong Institute of Planners or the Royal Town Planning Institute of Planners, because these two professional institutions are recognized by the Planners Registration Board. If your program is not fully accredited by these two institutes, you may have to study top-up courses. And lastly, as Eddy has shared before, after you have become planner, you may become being professional, and also we planners are concerned about design strategy, so that you may also become a member of the Hong Kong Institute of Urban Design. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hu. I know some of our audience are studying planning. It will be quite useful to them. And the third sharing speaker is Mr. Wei. Wei is the Deputy Group Manager Technical of Urban Group, which is a property management group, and he is a property and facility management surveyor. Mr.
Thanks, Eddy. Hello, everybody. I'm Leigh, is a professional property and facility surveyor. Before my sharing, I'd like to know how many of you know Hub City or Times Square. Where are they? How many of you know? Okay, one. Pretty good. I'd like to tell you I have been working Times Square and Hub City for over 10 years. Okay, right? Now I share with you my career journey. From the very beginning, after my graduation from the CTU in high diploma in architecture study, I take a first job before joining IEONG. It's an architectural firm as an assistant architect. But I saw that because the life is so boring, because I'm assigned to join for almost 6 months for job. So I quit and I tried another job. At that time, back to almost 30 years ago, I joined Urban Group as a technical officer trainee. At that time, the property maintenance is not so common in Hong Kong, but I tried that job. But along the over 30 years, I stayed in the PFM industry. So you can see from this early beginning, I paved my road to the now the Deputy Group Manager in Urban. Again, back to Urban. Okay. And I've worked for a lot of different companies, such as the private developers, property management agencies, and also educational campus, Hong Kong APA Performance Academy. And also, I tried different property assets, including the office building, the shopping mall, the residential estates, heritage building, because we have a heritage campus with the APA in the North Woodland, and also some facility management, such as the air cargo terminal and Asia World Expo, etc. Along the 30 years of my career journey, I took a master course in the facility management because once I've worked in the industry, I come across some bottleneck because I feel I have insufficient knowledge because our industry wants us to have diversified knowledge experience. So in 2004, I took a master course in facility management. And after that, I got the professional qualification in the survey, the Hong Kong IS and RRCS. And this academic upgrade and professional qualification upgrade helped me to work in different companies and also have tried various roles in different companies. After getting professional and academic qualifications, around 2010 in Hong Kong, green building has come to a milestone stage because in Hong Kong, the HKGBC and BSL just launched a BIMPAS as an assessment tools to assess what is the green building and to establish a framework to assess or to certify the green building. But actually, before that time, we have done a lot of green works in Times Square or in hub city, such as how we can save water, save electricity, and reduce wastes. But we don't know how good we are and what is the level. We cannot benchmark with our other industry players. So at that time, the BIMPAS and the BIM Pro has been launched by HKGBC. I tried to get that qualification and to be a green professional. And after that 1 year, to be the green building faculty as well. So since that time, I know what is the standard of a green building, and also what's the good practice of a green building. The first project I can apply my BIM Pro knowledge is Hong Kong APA, the on-campus expansion project in Wan Chai. At that time, I had to lead the project team to apply the funding to expand the campus. There's a new building, 9-story in the Wan Chai campus. We have to apply the funding from the government, about 4 million Hong Kong dollars, in which we have to include a lot of green initiatives and energy conservation measures inside our application because there is the government fund. So at that time, because I'm a BIM Pro, I know what is the green building standard, and the government said that we have to try to attend BIMPAS Gold to Silver category when the building was built. So I worked with the consultant and the RHSD to work a lot of this item into our paper. It's around 6 million in the funding. Successfully, we end up to have approval with government. And the second, another second and third project highlight I would like to draw is that our previous one is the new building. Now the second and third example is the existing building. When I'm working in Hang Lung Properties, these are headquarters of our Hang Lung Properties. There is a Standard Chartered Bank building at Central. When I on board Hang Lung, they have got the provisional assessment, good pass of the BIMPAS. So when I work with the consultant in the final submission of the BIMPAS, I asked them why we why not we hit the highest rate of the existing building, that is the final tenure. So because I know what is the gap, what is the difference between the platinum and the gold, so I go through the overall credit and advise the consultant and how many additional works, for example, to enhance our indoor air quality, and then to try to beat the final tenure. Eventually, we success. I'm so happy because this building become the first existing private commercial building in Hong Kong to get the existing building final tenure. And the second building, the second project is the City of Charity in 2024. I also give advice to our Olympus project team, and so that we can have the highest rated excellent Olympus selected skill management. We are the first batch of existing large residential estate in Hong Kong. Our industry need we have an update knowledge profession along our journey. So I encourage my lifelong learning. So I got the additional qualification as a certified ESG panel in 2024. And now I'm the Olympus Expand Panel Management Chairperson. In Hong Kong, I can see a lot of opportunity because in Hong Kong there are over 42,000 existing buildings. That means a lot of potential. We can apply our knowledge in building enhancement and development. Besides Hong Kong, you can see we have a more large market in the mainland. Just because my profession and experience, luckily I have a chance to participate in this Shanghai Green Building Standard, this important document. I've participated in the final stage of review with the mainland expert. So this is a very unique green building assessment standard for Shanghai because in largely in China, the main green building certification is the China Green Building label. Maybe there is US based. So the mainland, particularly some new cities, like to have a unique green building standard for its own, not based on US, but to have some international alignments. So they consider Hong Kong Olympus to have international features. So they have a collaboration with Hong Kong GBC and BSL to establish a unique standard. To have Olympus experiment and you add the green building label, which are green label features inside the whole standard. That means one assessment you can get the dual certification. But the most important is in this assessment process, BIMPO is needed. That means the BIMPO training and examination in Hong Kong is very important. Any mainland expert like to participate in this standard certification, they have to got the BIMPO qualification. I will use a motto to wrap up my sharing today. Yes, because my career journey involving property and facility management or the green building practice involve plenty of small tasks. But we should not look down on the small tasks because small contributions is vital to the realization of our long-term dreams. But what is our long-term dream? Is to build greener and sustainable future. So we welcome the youth to join the family of green building. Thank you.
Thank you, Leigh, for his insightful sharing. That property management is, I think, one very important element of good housing. If you have good housing, you need to have good property management. Now, come to the fourth sharing speaker. We is Ms. Melody Wong. Melody is a sustainability consultant at ERA. So I leave it to her to serve you her valuable experience.
This is Melody. I'm going to share about like what we normally do as a sustainability consultant, and also the work as a consultant, what we normally advise to clients or the developers or like the contractors that comes to us because they have some issue and they want to seek for solution, and that's why consultant is the person who offer the solutions or like suggestion to the people who are having the question. But as a consultant, I have to admit, even we are working in a construction industry, we are not always like going to the site or doing all the site-related work. Most of our time is actually on your right-hand side. That means we are sitting in an office with aircon, which is quite chill. You don't have to worry about the bad weather, like the heat outside. So it's quite good if you are working as a consultant or like maybe other architects also spending most of their time in your office work. But it doesn't mean that we don't have to go to site. What we do normally as a sustainability consultant, because it's the terms related to sustainability, that means all the things related to reducing resources, energy, water, even the green building certification like the BEAM Plus that we keep talking about it. This is also the work we do, and we also do some sustainable design, also the regulatory compliance, data analysis and reporting, etc. These are just some of the examples to tell you what we normally do. But most of the time when you just join a company as a fresh graduate, as a sustainability consultant, I think it's more or less the same as what Leigh mentioned, because we need to spend most of our time working on drafting, drawing, because all this work is the fundamental work for us to carry out the other analysis. Like we need to do some simulation on the facade heat gain to advise the architects to where to put some shading things to reduce the cooling load within the building. We need to build or draft all the drawing in the CAD, or even now we have BIM, we still need somebody to do these kind of like tedious work for us to carry out the afterworks like analysis. Apart from these simulation, we also study energy reduction. We have so many different sort of like strategies to contribute to like zero carbon building in Kowloon Bay Area. We name ourselves as a feng shui engineer because we need to deal with feng and we need to deal with shui. That means that we need to work with wind and also we need to work with water. As we show you an example over here is like a Hyson place. Maybe normally you guys won't notice about it because you just walk along the Causeway Bay instead of like looking out, and it's so congested. There are lots of issues related to urban heat island effect. That means like when you spend your time outside on the road, you will feel so hot as compared to you spending your time in the rural area. This is so-called like the urban heat island effect. That's why you can see some architect working together with us to try to like revise or upgrade or enhance the architect's building, massing, etc. Like if you pay attention to the picture on the right hand side, you can see that actually like a hole. Like a hole over there is actually for the wind penetration to improve the overall wind environment in the Causeway Bay area. Apart from maybe there are some other feng shui consideration, but this feng shui is talking about better wind environments in Causeway Bay area. This is also the work we do. Apart from like drawing, simulation, and working on the architect massing, we also do regulatory like advice to maybe government department like EMSE. We will also helping on advising what's to be updated or what are the regulations in terms of building energy efficiency. We always do these kind of like policy advisory work too. But all this what I've shared is like most of the time we do in office. Maybe I can also share some of the work that in construction site or the site work. Maybe you can imagine what are the other works like normally a sustainability consultant do. We will also go to site because sometimes for like getting the noise permit or things related to air and noise quality issue in construction site, we may also go to construction site to carry out some noise monitoring, like the piling they're doing. We will do some monitoring and make sure it's comply with the noise requirement from EPD. For some of the clients, they may want to upgrade their factory to get like a more low carbon fuel source. Maybe you don't realize what is that in the middle, but it's like a biomass boiler to try to generate electricity instead of like using fossil fuel. This is some of the site work we normally carry out, apart from like going to the building, going to the rooftop of the construction site. Our site work is not just construction site, I would say. We also go to warehouse. We also go to some factories or even existing building plant when it's also our construction site. Maybe you can see like, this is not for fun, like I accidentally put it over there, but this is some of our sustainability strategies putting in a building, like the aquaponic. We also need to go to visit and check if everything is alright before it put into the building. And recently we put more emphasis on the industry because like, I'm not sure whether you know what are pictures over here. It's very related to our daily life and every people also need it. This is our clothes. We also work for like clients from different industry, like the textile one, to go to visit their, like not just visit, we are the consultant to advise them what are the areas they can reduce their energy and water use, because actually like most of our clothes that produce every day consume a lot of like energy, water, and also the resources. And I would say like working as a consultant is really eye-opening because we are not just drawing, drafting, doing simulation, but at the same time we can go to site to visit, go to some areas that you can't imagine, and it gives you a lot of opportunities to go to visit different sorts of areas. Maybe it's not just related to construction, it's all related to energy, water, carbon. These are the areas that sustainability consultant can offer you to experience instead of just built environment, I would say. But I may not have so much time to go through all the stuff, but I would say like one of the things I would say for the most exciting thing or interesting thing about working as a consultant, not just sustainability consultant, I'm sure also architect will share the same thought, or the engineer will also share the same thought, is that all your contribution can be realized. Like you contribute to doing a simulation or contribute doing like the energy reduction, and there are real things appear to you. Like the project we participate like in the air side, or like I'm not sure whether you go there to do some shopping or not, but what you did in the project, you can realize one day, or you can tell your friends, your family, oh, that's the project I work for, and it gives you a sense of satisfaction. I'm not sure whether you feel proud of it, but I do feel the same. I'm sure the project team do feel the same, and this is also why architects or engineers are the work that's fascinating a lot of people. Even people spend days and times like crying, not just crying, like sweating, doing overtime work, in like getting the operational permit time. Like people may sleep for 1 to 2 hours or even not sleeping in order to get a project done and finished, and all the tears and sweats are paid off, I would say, once the project is complete. And I would say like, yeah, I don't have time to go through all the sustainability design or features in the project, but maybe next time when you come to SI, you can pay attention to the detail. But what I want to share more is like once you participate in the engineering industry or architect industry, you better like spend also the rest of your time. Even work will occupy most of your time, but it's better for you to also participate in some institution, do some society-related work, because it also offers you a lot of opportunities to explore the other side of you. What I'm saying, like, maybe you are electrical engineering, you can join IET. If you are energy engineering, you can join Energy Institute. There's so many professional institutions that you can join and spend your time to meeting new friends, meeting new seniors that are not working in the same company as you, and at the same time do some community-related service that can offer you the other opportunities that you can go to some technical visit, getting some experience like doing the MC, which is not related to your work, but at the same time can enrich your life, even your life is so busy at your work. And I would say like engineering or doing architects, you need to keep abreast of all the knowledge. That's why we learn every day, and we learn things that is not related to your discipline too, because like working as a project, you are a member of the whole project team. It's better for you to understand the others more. What I'm saying, like even I'm a sustainability consultant, I also need to know what the architect's concern, what are the structural engineer concern, and if you understand the other people more or have basic understanding of the knowledge that they cared about, it smooth the entire like project delivery process. So you need to keep learning. I would say like that's why like you need to work, spend some of the time in professional institution, and at the same time do the learning, and then it's already like 24 hours. I mean like apart from sleeping, normal life, it's already like 24 hours a day. But it's like fascinating because you know something that you may not know, like even a cable car, it contains a lot of engineering related sense, and there are even vehicles, you can look into the hydrogen bus. These are the things that quite different from your like normal working on projects, working on buildings, working on bridges. These are the other things that you can look into. And at the same time, one of the very key ideas that I would like to share about is that your project will not be just in Hong Kong. And as a consultant, we got a lot of exposure to working on a project that is not just focusing in your geographical location. Sometimes some projects, some clients are from Southeast Asia, from the other regions. They will come to you, and you got a lot of exposure and opportunities to work across the broad, apart from like work during your flights, but at the same time you can meet the local people over there, understand more about the regulation over the other countries, and at the same time, being cultural shock with different sort of like people backgrounds and how to deal with the people with different languages or like different practice. These are also some fascinating work that I would say, like as a consultant, you can get the opportunity to work for the other countries or even more than that. And I think that's all for my sharing.
Thank you, Eddy. Very useful advice. Remember to join student members when you are still a student. Join your institution. So now come to the last sharing speaker, who is Ms. Hannah Wong. Hannah is the principal engineer at Qualifications Hong Kong Limited. She is a mechanical engineer. So I pass to Hannah.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me today, and I will be aware of time. I will shorten a bit on my presentation because it's quite synchronized with Melody, because I'm also a sustainability consultant engineer, and actually my journey starts from PolyU. I graduated from the Polytechnic University with a degree of product analysis and engineering design under the mechanical engineering department, and then I joined Arab for around 5 years. to introduce me about the energy analysis and environmental assessment. And then I changed to BCG consulting and more focused on the green building certification. And then now I'm with Kendall, specializing in energy and carbon assessment for the building industry. Along the way, I also chartered as a chartered engineer under the IEONG and also the HKIE. Now, I just want to share about how I go into the sustainability industry as a product designer as a starting point, because that shaped how I feel the building. It's not just a static structure, but a dynamic product as a building. So that I can evaluate the overall performance, also optimize the system throughout the skills I developed through my working experience. And then after all, I can build up my team now in terms of sustainability professions, and also nowadays I'm more on mentoring my junior engineers as well as collaborate with the client and the stakeholders for the projects. And then I just want to more share about how you are preparing into this sustainability industry. You have to build up your critical thinking, because as an engineer, we constantly offer solutions. We constantly solving the problems from others or from our projects. And that's why critical thinking to providing a solution with limited of time, data, or budget is our task. And that will bring you to solve your issues. And then another one is the curiosity. Ideas come from many different spaces, unexpected spaces. It can be something you saw in your daily life. It can be something you read from some new books and understand some new materials that can apply to your projects, as well as some kind of different solution that in other industry can also apply into your projects. That will bring you some new and creative ideas. And then lastly is the collaboration. In sustainability, actually we never work alone. We have to collaborate with different stakeholders, engineers, architects. So the collaboration skills is important for ourselves to work as a team, to discuss with each other, listen to each other, so that we can form up the common ground and also build up the trust, and also to maintain their expectation within their goals, the sustainability goals. So for the future, I will see sustainability is strong, having a strong future, because the climate change, ESG, carbon reduction is the key topics, hot topics in this nowadays, and that's why we have a strong future in this industry. And building actually contributes 90% of the electricity in Hong Kong, and it is playing a very huge role in the environmental impact in Hong Kong. And that's why I would say the future is strong, but it's also it's not without challenge. The innovation, the new technology, and also the interdisciplinary links is the key to bring a deeper sustainability goals for the industry. And for my advice to the newcomers, if you are coming to the sustainability industry, I will have this kind of advice to use. First, build a strong foundation in physics, in thermodynamics, or in other fields that you are interested in, so that you can understand how the building, how the industry behave. And other is taking interdisciplinary courses that's just mentioned by other speakers, Eddy, and also I just mentioned we are having collaboration work with the others, and that's why understanding each other how is the theory from HRD is important. And that's why taking articles, understand artists is the key. Thirdly is doing the internship. It will give you a chance to apply what you have learned and also how you are going to discuss and building the relationship with the artists in the industry. It can also give you a chance to explore different roles in the market so that you can understand what is the most suitable role for you yourself. Yeah. And lastly is stay curious and also ask questions, because curiosity is the strength. It will show you eager to learn and also willing to grow. And yeah, so I understand you guys may have some pressures to finding the right way and right path at the moment. It will be quite struggling, but I would say you don't really need all the answers at this moment, because along the way, when you stay curious, when you stay open and keep moving on, you will find out the answer for yourself. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Again, very useful advice. Now come to the final part, which is Q&A. I think we reserve 15 minutes for the audience, either physically on site or joining online to raise questions. For those who join online, you may type your questions in the Zoom system, and those who have come to this venue, we welcome you to raise your hand and ask questions. Now the staff are setting up the chairs. May I now invite all the Israeli speakers to come to the front part of the stage, and we now have a discussion session. Maybe I raise the first question. I know some of our audience are studying town planning. I noticed you study geography.
Yes.
Is it adequate for a geography graduate to become a town planner?
Actually, there's no specific subject leading to the town planning study. From my experience, when I'm studying urban planning, there are many classmates come from the geography background, but also other disciplines such as surveying, architect, even though IT, tourism. So actually, multidisciplinary subject for the town planning requirements.
You still need to get the second degree in urban planning.
In Hong Kong, if you choose a program fully accredited by Hong Kong IP or RTPI, then you should proceed with the postgraduate study in Master of Science in Urban Planning in Hong Kong, Europe. But I know CUHA is also arranging another master program, but whether it is fully accredited by HKGBC or RTPI, it may be pending for their outcome. And also in Hong Kong, there are also other master programs partly accredited by the national institution. But if you choose, if this is such a program, they have to take several top courses offered by the Hong Kong IP or other professional institutions for qualification. And for overseas study, there are also many other master degree in UK or Australia or US, but they have to take some top courses back to Hong Kong to be qualified as a practicing planner in Hong Kong.
Any question on the floor? We don't have questions from the Zoom participant. Then I take the chance to ask the second question. I know, for example, you work in architecture. You need to coordinate with sustainability consultant. I want to hear about how do you feel when you have conflict in opinions with the sustainability consultant? Can you share some examples? Conflict.
I don't think it's a lot of conflict. As mentioned by Melody, for example, if we try to design office building, for example, and then we have to do some climatic analysis. So we liaise like sustainability consultant such as Melody, and then she will help us to produce some simulations, and then we will talk together. Okay, where we can put some things like shading device, vertical, horizontal, etc. And of course, sometimes, for example, if we want the design to be like that, like in certain shape, and also some designers quite insist on their design, and then we need to have bargain with the sustainable design. So back and forth and come up with solutions. Yeah. So normally it's quite not to take a long time, but still some back and forth negotiation. Yes.
How about as a consultant, what is your experience in handling conflict with the architect?
Well, this is a very tricky question. I share the same view as Yvonne. It's not like conflicts. It's also another problems that we have to deal with together. Because I would say normally we got the issues about sustainability design and also architect is that what we propose, as a sustainability consultant, usually need to sacrifice a lot with the GFA, which clients concern the most, and at the same time, we need to, some of our proposed strategies will take up some plant room spaces, and some of our features are not good looking. That's all need to work together with architects to make it beautiful, make it comply with the requirement, and at the same time make the client happy, because we cannot put all the stuff over there, but the clients may not be able to rent it out or sell it out with a good price. So I would say it's a balance of all the stuff. And yeah, sometimes you can say conflict because we discuss very exciting in a way that is very exciting, but I would say normally we understand each other because we have our intention. Architects, they need to secure the aesthetic and also the client perspective, and at the same time we are representing to make it more sustainable. Is that how we try to balance all the stuff out and provide the optimal solutions.
How about Anna? I know you are energy expert. Any experience about trying to reducing energy use, but some difference in opinions from other disciplines?
I think there are two parts. One is about the architects, about the build form. I think for architects, we are sharing the common goals because we are also considering how to react with the natural environment, and that's why our simulation is assisting the design actually instead of having conflict usually. And rather is another part is about the engineering system that we also coordinate with the MEP engineers, the building service system to be enhanced with the performance. And for that part, we have different approach because we are enhancing the system, we are improving the energy performance, and that's why it will come with a payback calculation that we can demonstrate with the benefit of those strategies, and then put into the balance and let the clients and the engineers to decide which option is better. So that's our approach in different aspects.
Now may I turn to Mr. Fu? I know you have participated in neighborhood rating, pursuing a neighborhood rating under BIMPAS. Can you share some experience with us?
Yes. After I have reviewed about 10 or more BIM neighborhood projects, and I'm responsible for the community and the site aspects, which are related to the surrounding environment of the building or the development with focus on for example, the convenience of the public to have to get access to the development, whether there are good public transport or whether public engagement process have been conducted for the development. And I think the Beam Plus neighborhood is a very important consideration actually for a new development or a redevelopment project, because as what I've shared today, before architectural design, before the what type of building or what green technology should be applied to the building. In fact, at the very beginning, what is the desirable land uses, or what should be the desirable connectivity or desirable living environment should be for the development. These questions should be asked first, and Beam Plus neighborhood caring about this aspect. And so I would say there should be more projects to apply for the Beam neighborhood certification. But I know there may be some further incentive. For example, there's a GFA concession for Beam Plus certification, but there's so far no GFA concession for Beam Plus neighborhood certification. And it may be a future room for discussion for further promoting the Beam Plus neighborhood assessment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I also want to ask Leigh about property management. I know there are two broad divisions of careers. We can classify one as property management in the managerial side, and the other is on the technical side. So, can you describe that you have worked in this sector for a long time? What's the difference between those working in the managerial side and those working in the technical side?
As you know, my fundamental or my primary role is at technical side, and I think when we step up or escalate to the managerial side, I think the mindset is important, and also the diversified knowledge experience. We have to have a better interpersonal skill to communicate or presentation with different professions like consultant.
Also communicating with the IO owners.
Sure. Yeah, because sometimes we have to manage or operate buildings in a greener and sustainable manner to support the sustainability. So we have to equip with better communication and presentation skill to present the energy saving projects to the IO, because as you know, sustainability need money investment. So we have to demonstrate the benefit of the environmental projects to the IO or to the owners, to persuade them to invest money and to do some good things to the environment, and then you have got the return. So, for example, that you install some solar panel to get renewable energy. So in the managerial grade or executive level, we have to equip with better interpersonal skill. Yeah, this is my experience.
Here's the question. With sustainability becoming an increasingly important and dynamic field, what guidance would you offer to students who aspire to become chartered environmentalists or pursue careers in sustainability? I think Melody can offer advice.
Okay. I think as what I have mentioned, because it's a dynamic field, we need to deal with phone, deal with show, deal with energy, we deal with architect, we deal with materials. And I would say like if you're a person who are not like scared of learning new things and willing to contribute some of your time to like further your study in different areas, normally I would say like you are best fit to doing sustainability because there are so many areas that you could go to explore. Because like back like few years before, people just talking about ESG, but without like looking into very detail what is climate, what is carbon, and then nowadays, a few years before, people start looking into carbon, and there is Paris Agreement pushing all of us to do decarbonization. In recent years, because we have typhoon, we're hitting by the typhoon, and so many properties like being affected, and people start looking into climate change. What are the climate impact? And nowadays, like people start looking into nature. Like there are so many different sort of like topics related to sustainability. And if you are a person who like new stuff, then it's like you can continue to study different areas. And then maybe in the upcoming future, there are more new trends related to social aspect or any other aspect that we are not quite sure, uncertain. But it's areas like infinity that you can go to explore.
But if we focus on CN, Chartered Environmentalists, in the UK system, so what are specific subjects that would be possible to proceed to obtain this qualification in the UK? Like environmental engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering?
Yeah, I would say like as far as I know, like chartered environmentalists, like you can charter it through different institutions that offer chartered environmentalists this sort of like qualification. And normally I would say like they are environmental related study. If you study about maybe geography, like environmental science, environmental management, and everything is related to environment, you are able to become the chartered environmentalist as far as you're filling the form with different category of like a competency requirement. I think it's similar to engineer, but like the stuff will be more related to sustainability, what are the principle, what are the work that related to environment or sustainability. And even though you are like from different background, like civil engineer or like maybe architect, you are also eligible if your work experience is related to environmental or like sustainability, as far as you go for those like qualified like institutions to fill in the form, like fulfilling the requirement of those competency requirement. Suppose like you are also eligible to be as a chartered environmentalist.
You are fully signed to join.
Yeah, for the chartered environmentalist, I did it through institutions of environmental science. There are also a lot of like institutions that allow you to do the chartered environmentalist, like the SIREM, IEONG, and also other like Society of Operation or Society of
SOE.
SOE. And then there are a bunch of long lists. And you can go to search from like Society of Environment. They will offer you like the list of institutions that enable you to become the chartered environmentalist.
So that's the UK system. And in fact, Hong Kong also have similar institutions like recently elevated status is HKGBC, Qualified Environmental Professionals. So they consider also the Hong Kong system besides the UK system. So I think we should end here. We cannot accommodate further questions. Anyway, we thank you for joining this seminar. We now have a post-talk question there through the QR code. I would invite all the audience, including those joining online, to scan the QR code of the post-talk question there, so that we can carry out evaluation. And we'd also like to thank the Environment and Conservation Fund for funding this series of activities. We also like you to pay attention to what we have put up in our event webpage, the HKGBC event and training webpage. because we have future series of similar seminars and training, like next week, the week after next week. We also have the foundation course and also future technical course coming to be held on Saturday. So pay attention to our event and training webpage. And if you also want to view back those archive activities, you can go to YouTube, HKGBC YouTube channel. We have a playlist dedicated to the ECF funded program. You can view back those activities that were organized before. So thank once again for joining this activity. See you next time. Thank you.